Wildcats.
I am back! What it do, baby?
It's the Catechin. Cats ruined Mizzou's senior day. Andrew Carr is all the way back. And Caleb Grill has to update his LinkedIn. Kentucky beats Missouri 91-83 in as good of an away win as one could hope for. Fellas, how we feeling?
Fantastic, man. The Catechin reverse jinx, all in, finally worked. 1-0. We all picked against the Cats for the first time in the show's history. So, big dub for,
I
big
didn't.
time. You did, but it's okay. We'll go with it. But no, great win, honestly. Defensively, I felt like they really, obviously they ended up scoring 83, but I felt like for a long stretch in that game, we played really good defense and, physical, matched them. Whereas in the games like this on the road in tough environments, I feel like we've really ran into some brick walls and kind of faltered at times. Even games we've won in, we've kind of ran into some real physical teams that stuck around, a lot longer than they should have, or the games were tighter, or we just got flat out beat because we didn't respond well. And I felt like today was the exact opposite of that. And truthfully, I think it starts right like with Andrew Carr being, Andrew Carr and one down the stretch to beat Duke Andrew Carr, that guy. And he is, so many things to go over, but that's really where I think it starts is Andrew Carr, and then everyone from there kind of goes down. But yeah, great win.
Yeah, I liked what I saw tonight and never doubted it. Andrew Carr, some of those dumb turnover mistakes can get cleaned up because he is like so decisive, saving a ball that was a bad pass or whatever. I think that he was the star of the game. I think one thing that has happened to us before has been the game plan gets jacked up because the team, when we're on the road, the home team is just mugging us and we're not getting calls. And then we are trying to mug back and getting all kinds of fouls called on us. And that usually, it seems to frustrate our team a lot. But today, I was like, Ncaa keeps driving. He's getting triple teamed. He's getting mugged all the way to the rim, and they're not going to call it. Was it like, you got to do something? And then it was like after that first rough stretch that we had where nothing was going down, it was passing it out. We just punished the hell out of them with a 3-point ball. And it was good to see. We got a lot of quality minutes up and down the roster today. Fun. They put us some swag today. That was nice. Kobe didn't get it teed up. If Brandon Garrison had pointed at Caleb Grill after dunking on him, that would have been a technical foul or maybe 3.
It shouldn't have been because go on. I'm not going to talk about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it was also really funny to watch. Ncaa had Caleb Grill in hell all day, and they just broke them. And you could tell that they had a scouting report that they were following, and it didn't work. Amari went 8 for 10 from the free throw line.
10 for 20, man, that's crazy.
It felt like we've seen how this game goes, and in the beginning of it, it looked like the Ole Miss game or the Georgia game or just Vandy, just a lot of these games where like or especially even Texas, where it like we're playing tight, maybe we're down a little bit, then we're up. But it's nice that though they seem to have figured that out. And it's good that at the perfect time they finally won one of these games where it was kind of ugly, but they made their run and then they just never gave it up.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And it kind of stems right with the getting a little bit healthier in some aspects, right, with Carr and Butler, because we did kind of have games like this against Gonzaga, right, were we down a bunch in that game, I think at one point, like 16 or something like that. But to respond the way they did, that place is crazy with that crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they were getting the whistle. I don't know if I don't think I understand the rules of the game of basketball how the charge block works anymore. I really don't. I'm not sure what it is. It's not a charge unless it's like an absolute shove off. Is that what I'm supposed to believe? I guess because Lamont, that last one he took was pretty wild. That looked like he stood there for all time and eternity like a redwood and took it right to the chest, and then he still got the foul. One thing I really liked was one thing I was really concerned with losing Jackson is kind of just his swag, and so it's hard to identify, but he's really like when things start to get a little rough, he'll hit that big 3. He'll pull up. We've talked about this at times with the fast break threes, or just like kind of the FU threes, and to see Colin Chandler hit a couple shots like that today, just in stride, his shot looked different. Even I mean, it's almost like he's back. He's Colin, right? And he got fouled on that last year. I don't care what anybody says. That's an and one
Right.
all day. He got drilled, but he starts playing like that, man. Well, there's I think the death of the Cats in March has been like greatly over exaggerated here. I think we got a hell of a chance. I really do if he plays like that.
Yeah, Colin, he plays really low defensively, like Lamont style, and that's great. But yeah, on the offensive side, he was also not really getting back up. But it feels like that's completely changed in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Defensively, that he was starting to show out against that in that first Tennessee game.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
today he didn't like get in foul trouble. He was still, he's exciting to watch. Because one thing about getting healthy is also just being able to play the same dynamic.
Mhm.
And it's not even that we're like healthy at this point because we still don't have Jackson or Kerr, but
Healthies we're gonna be
with these lineups for like 3 games in a row now, which is the first time that we've had this much continuity, which is barely any. So yeah, exciting. I feel like we definitely, it's hard to say. Basketball's hard. This conference is tough. But I really feel like getting to that second weekend, then it's like you're in a big game. You have had a week of rest. That's when you can make your Elite Eight, Final Four runs. And I think obviously we have 8 top 15 wins.
You finished 10 and 8 in the greatest conference basically in the last, however 30 years in college basketball. It's rare that you'll go from the SEC and the SEC tournament and probably play for a while a lot worse teams. Usually from the SEC, it might be is the SEC good enough to prep us for what we're going to see in the NCAA tournament, because it's been Kentucky and then belt to ass for everyone else in the conference until this year, right? But I think that you're who are you going to see? If we play like that with that team, we can stay consistently healthy. I think we can beat and play with anybody. I mean, we're not better without Jackson by any means, without Kerr, but we still got a shot. I mean, they definitely didn't look like they had turned it. I mean, I really thought they were going to lose today. I really did. I thought they were going to get ran off the court, and I was dead wrong.
Are we actually locked into being the 8th place team? Like, there's still some movement that could happen today, right? This is why we need Ben.
No, we can't be the 8th place team. What? No.
Yeah, because I don't think we can be 8th because we beat Missouri and we have the same.
Yeah, I think we're either 5th or 6th.
7th.
This is like a very, very, very unlikely, like a 0.02% chance type situation, I think.
It's 6th, I think, with the tiebreakers, depending on how it goes.
I'd love for it
Either
to
way.
break where we come in 7th, because they kept showing the SEC tournament bracket, and I really liked that 7th spot.
No Auburn or Alabama.
Yeah.
Until the end, yeah.
On Colin Chandler, I don't think anybody shows flashes on this team. Maybe Ortega, the way that Colin does, because he will have just some out of this world passes, and it's just like no look, like post pass. Like, passing in the post is so hard.
It's a lost art. Yeah.
That's exactly what I wish Ortega would do sometimes.
Yeah,
It's harder than it looks, though. I'm telling you, to even punch that ball in there is tough. And Chandler, I'm glad you reckon that. The passing is huge. His ceiling is so high, dude.
He was like whipping around no look post passes to Brandon Garrison right on the money. It was so good. I think it caught Brandon off guard because it just.
Wow, I hope that's what it was. He smoked the layup and then the free throw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was a few smoked layups today.
10 to be exact, yeah.
And but we still put up 92 points.
Yeah, got to make it interesting,
We I gotta look at this box score. I feel like Andrew Carr blocked one dude 4 times down on one possession. How the hell we only have 4 blocks in the whole box score? There's no way there was only 4 blocks in the game. I swear we were all over that in the post. That's crazy. They only got us with 4.
I know you guys are going to know what I'm talking about, but the block that he had today on his second jump with the offhand, how did he do that?
Did I not say that? I thought I said that was one of the most.
Oh, no, you said exactly that in the group.
Okay. I was like,
I just wanted to mention it.
Okay. I was like, hell yeah, he did. That was insane. Yeah. How did he not foul there, dude? I gasped. That dude's not like that athletic, and that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Well, it's also like one of those things that they will just call a foul.
Yes.
Usually.
Well, he gave him no choice there. You look at that thing, there's no margin for error. I'm telling you, I don't know where you could, sure, they could call the foul. They call stuff when you don't even touch a guy. But like, it was so clean and emphatic and like, so sure, like he knew it was going to happen. I can't even write with both hands. And that fool's out there just doing stuff like that. And I just remember how bad I am at basketball compared to guys like Ncaa.
It
That
makes
was
me
one of the
feel.
coolest things ever.
It makes me feel good to see like our veterans playing well coming down the stretch here, because I feel like those are the guys who are going to be locked in like the first round of the tournament, to where I feel like the likelihood of us getting upset feels lower with people like Ncaa and Lamont Butler on the team.
100%. That would be, oh my God, I didn't even consider the idea of getting upset in the first round. I know you guys have.
This is Kentucky, baby.
I get it. Now you say it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's happened. I mean,
We seem to
Utah State went further.
blow out the teams that we need to blow out, though. Like, we just haven't had any of those games in so long.
Ish, right? I feel like we've lost it on this season. You mean?
Yeah.
I feel like we've lost the teams you would have thought we'd have beat, looking at the schedule at the start of the year, and beat everybody you thought we might have lost to, right? Like, it's like lose to Clemson, beat Duke, right? Like, beat Tennessee, lose to Georgia, right? I mean, so I feel like we've beat everybody we're not supposed to, but
But the thing is those teams are actually like not double-digit seeded NCAA teams.
Yeah, like for instance, who do you think is better, Vandy or Utah Valley State? Because Utah Valley is more than likely in the tournament, but are they better than Georgia?
I'm the wrong person to ask this question to. I'm way too mid-major biased, bro. No, talent-wise, no, they're not. But I would imagine I would worry about losing that game to Utah Valley if I were like Arkansas or somebody like that has not a lot of team chem. A bunch of unathletic white dudes over at Utah Valley, but they're going to win some games for sure.
They can shoot the pill, probably.
Oh, hell yeah, they can.
They play the game the right
way. What did you say?
Play the game the right way.
Oh, no, we're not starting that right now.
That's what Braden's always saying in the group chat.
I am literally never saying that in the group chat.
The commentator today, that was the same guy who was talking. He made two different comments about the exact same play, one by Amari, one by Carr. That was like, this guy is a mule for one, and this guy has high basketball IQ for the other. Can you guess which one?
And I'm not going to guess. I already know. We talked about this when Kobe saved that play at the half court line. He led Carr to he really did save the ball to him, and he goes, Carr finds a miraculous way to that ball, just magically found his way there, and I don't know how he got to it. Damn, bro. All right.
Yeah,
that guy was trash. I don't even know who he was. I don't even want to know. Don't tell me his name. It'll make me mad.
Kobe today was very consistently a good presence on the offensive and defensive side. I mean, the fact that he would just toy with defenders before shooting a three right on their head was just amazing. I think it killed the crowd every time he did it.
Oh, that was the momentum. We never let him get it away. We never let him rip it away and go crazy in that place.
Defensively, it moves like in the paint. He is so much better at avoiding getting screened and playing tight without fouling than he was at the beginning of the season. He's not Lamont Butler.
No, for sure. He's improved in insane amounts. You're totally right.
So, yeah, I do feel good about this group in the current iteration, because we've had so many different iterations this season. But one thing that was pretty neat today was it felt like that first 4 minutes or whatever where we couldn't make a shot, and then you had the two Kentucky boys come in. And Trent Ncaa hits a three. He gets some crazy rebounds, plays some really good defense. You had Travis got stuffed at the rim, which I think was a foul. But then he stops and just gets ran over and steals the ball. It felt like the momentum shifted pretty quickly there, and people saw shots go down, and we just never came back. So even having the last guys in the rotation come in and make a momentum or something like that, it's a pretty complete team. I just, yeah, I mean, it's still basketball. You get weird matchups, you get weird days, but
And honestly, that's one thing I do want to say, because I feel like I mean, people can have their opinions and stuff, but like, if you find yourself thinking that Coach Pope is the only person on the planet that doesn't see something, and you and everybody does see it, I promise you, you're not seeing it right. The lineups are the lineups because of who we have. Like, you can't play Amari Williams 40 minutes a game. You can't. His effectiveness dips. He's better when he's fresh. You have to play other guys. You have to rotate him in. I saw 1,000 takes about how dumb Pope is. How can you not see it?
yeah,
I think to yourself what that would mean logically, right? That the only guy that doesn't get the one thing that would stop us from winning is the guy that Kentucky hired as their head coach. Like, that would cause a lot more problems down, that line of thinking, right?
Well, that was
Maybe-
happening to us for like a decade, but I get your point.
Listen, okay, yeah. So either, but sure, but don't. My point is chill. It's not.
he's
I
not
don't know.
right.
He's
So
not blind. He's
Right.
not. He's a damn good coach, if not the coach of the year with what's going on. I mean, anyways, I just, that is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. You question lineups, and I'm sure he questions his own lineup changes at times. No one's perfect, right? But to say that to such authority, like with a blanket statement, how does he not see it? How how does everyone else understand it? It's so simple. Think about what you're saying. Is all I'm saying. That's it's just such a
well, it also
airheaded take.
it's if you watch a game and if you see a center who plays 38 minutes a game like Hunter Dickinson, watch him lightly jog around from post to post to post to post, and then watch what Amari does. It's a completely different position.
It's a different sport. Yeah, it's so different.
Have a 7-foot guy like playing that athletic of a role. Yeah, he's going to get tired. Hunter Dickinson would have a heart attack if he tried to play like Amari plays.
Yeah, I mean, and we ask so much more of Amari
Mhm.
than just your run of the mill center.
Yep.
That you definitely want to keep him fresh because he has to be fully engaged every single moment on offense and defense.
And I think it's almost a victim of that he is so good that the drop off is. I'm not even trying to dog BG. We just can't ask what we ask of Amari to BG or to anybody on the roster, really, right? So it's going to have to shift. It's going to look different. So yeah, momentum's going to get killed sometimes, but at the same time, it's a trade off. He's got to play later in the game. People react so much in the moment, like it'll be all right. I promise. You just had your program tying a millionth top 15 win on the road, or top 15 on the year win. I don't know how you start questioning him now.
I think all-time tying. I'm pretty sure.
It said as many as Kentucky had in school history, and tied with it is what that's where I got that from. I don't know.
Maybe the regular season, though.
Couldn't tell you. It's on the broadcast what they said.
I got a Travis Perry take.
Oh, give me it.
I don't think we should be playing Travis Perry no more the rest of the season. I think any Travis Perry minutes should be split. Most of them going to Colin Chandler. I think everything that Travis Perry offers can be split amongst the rest of the roster. I think he will be good. I don't think that he should be getting minutes at the rate that he is now with the caliber of player he is right now.
Is it the turnovers that make you say that, and the visibility of those two turnovers? Or what makes you think that? I'm genuinely asking. I'm not asking rhetorically. I'm curious.
In the tournament, I mean, even
like today, what made you feel like that?
He doesn't have he's not capable of staying in front of his guy on defense, and he's a little small.
Okay.
I think if you're going to play him, it has to be certain scenarios. I think his upside is that he's a shooter, and I think he's a good shooter, but we have shooters.
I think he has a little bit of he's a bit of a gamer. I mean, you don't play that much high level, even high school basketball won't be that big of a scorer without being able to chest up sometimes. Defensively, you're right. He's not going to be able to keep in front of a lot of guys, but I feel
he doesn't even initiate the offense when he is out there. When he is out there, we run it through Amari.
But
Lamont's out there, we run it through Lamont.
That's not always true. You run it through Amari, but 90% of the possessions period. If you
we are never initiating offense through Travis Perry when he's out there.
Of course not. But I get what you're saying. But who do you can Colin although played great today. Again, recency bias. Colin had several games in which he played alongside with Travis, and Travis was by far the stronger ball handler, staying in front of his guy, and Chandler got destroyed. So I think that there's something to be said there. I think if it continues the way they played today, 100% agree with you. Gotta
Yeah.
be. Chandler's gonna shoot like that. You gotta play him. He's gonna handle the ball like that. You gotta play him over Perry. But if he has, it kind of, I feel like you play it by ear a little bit there. But I think the way it's going, that's absolutely what you got to do. I think not even split, just go straight to Colin. Colin's
Yeah.
his ceiling is so much higher, in my opinion, than everyone else that you could give the minutes to. That's where they should go.
Perry has had flashes where he's made some good plays here and there. I don't think he's had a game this season where our takeaway from it has been, wow, Travis Perry. I think every other guy on the roster has had that this year.
At Alabama, he was very impressive to me. In that environment, what we asked him to do that game, I thought it was pretty crazy. But
Sure.
Perry is very specific, I think. Mark Pope has this tenet of, if you get the ball across half court within this much of the shot clock, you have this many more percentage points of getting points. And he's the only other person on the team that can get it over half court in that time, it seems like. Because like what ends up happening with when Jackson would bring it out or Ortega brings it out is they play with the defender a little bit too much instead of just blowing by them. Okay. And so I think that might be why he gets like as much usage as he does. But yeah, he got stuffed at the rim too, like 4 times down.
And when he does get the ball past half court, you know what he does? He passes the ball to Amari Williams.
Yeah.
He's not...
to be fair, so is everybody else. Like, come on now. Everybody,
it's every time with Travis. Like, we will like start a play with Ortega or Lamont. Like Lamont will. We saw it today. If they're not stopping the ball with Lamont's taking
he'll 100%. There's I am no way trying to say Travis Perry and Lamont Butler are in the same stratosphere of anything. What I'm saying is I think there's enough shown in this game that it's not that he can't. We run it through Amari. I feel like that's just we're running it through Amari. I feel like it adds on a little bit, but I get what you're saying. We never run it through Travis, but he did was plus 10 in 7 minutes again, showing one of that stats kind of. I'm trash, but they did start that run though, didn't they? Him and
he's the one that took the lead with the 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They kind of I get that's where the thing happened. I honestly kind of felt the same. What you're saying about Perry's minutes, similar to we don't really have anyone that can take Trent's minutes unless Colin can take more, Ansley can take more. But man, I hope we get some guys some run in the first couple of rounds. Assuming saying a couple of rounds is rough in this fan base. Jesus.
Do you think Ansley's getting less of a run right now because Andrew Carr has just been that good?
I think it's because of the quickness and the athleticism and we don't have. Ansley's a corner shooter. I mean, he is just. Look, Fairleigh Dickinson is still D1 ball. He's a great guy. He's a great teammate, but he knows his role and he accepted where he's at. That's why you see he's one of my favorite guys that I've ever followed because do you see that guy's attention or intensity dip ever? No. Every time out, that dude's right there. He checks in for 2 minutes, or 4 minutes, whatever it was, and he's hyped. He's so excited to do anything he can to help the team win. He's going to win us again in the tournament, or SEC or otherwise, or NCAA. I really do think that he's going to be that. But no, I think it's, Carr probably taking up some of it because he was dipping way low in minutes for a while there. Carr was.
Yeah. But I think that Ansley brings a little bit of a, especially when you pair him with like Brea, it really spreads the floor. And I don't think that we've necessarily needed that in the past few games. We've really needed to work on the standard lineups and getting Carr, I think, back up to speed. But I would imagine that Ansley does get more time, especially early rounds.
I'm inclined to think that Carr getting 34 minutes and Ansley getting 4 is less of a ramp up for Carr and more of just a matchup situational type thing, just because it seems like it just is, because Ansley's either he'll come in and he'll have a game where he hits 4 threes and it's huge, and then he'll have the game where he plays 4 minutes and doesn't score. But I think that having him is going to be, because there's going to be somebody. He reminds me a lot of not that anyone will know about it, but Utah State beating TCU last year. Isaac Johnson had a huge game against them out of nowhere, and it was the reason we won our first tournament game in 20 years. So I think he'll have an impact like that. Like there'll be an Ansley game yet to come before he's done being a Cat.
My dad texted me something interesting today that I thought would make for an interesting topic for us to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
Want to hear the old Chuck Collins special? Here we go. He said, perhaps the team is in a good mindset knowing Kerr and Jackson are not coming back, and it's forced them to redefine themselves. And I think there might be something to that, where you get to this point of the season and you're like, we are who we are. Those guys aren't coming back. The rest of you got to step up. So that was a good point.
No, it's
Yeah.
a super good point. Do
Our
you remember that time? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Kel.
I was saying, like, yeah, it's just like this is your role now, and it's not going to change.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you
Unless-
remember when we had? I can't remember what game it was. We had some injuries, and we had. I think it was Lamont was out. He tried to play, couldn't play. Tried to play, like it was off and on, and then we kind of sat him for a little bit. I don't remember, or a couple guys. I don't remember exactly. It was probably Carr as well. And I think we had made the point that like I think it was the Kentucky kids that Perry and Noah that started playing a little better. And it was more of like when you're going to be in those minutes, like you're going to get that time. Like it's a little easier to establish yourself and to get more comfortable in that role. And I think that that's a huge thing. This is what it's going to be with. What did you say? It's 3 games in a row now, which is our longest streak in since 2024 that we've had the same starting lineup, right? I mean, that's huge. The defined roles being that, yeah. No, you'd be a star in your role. It's going to make for a lot easier time.
Yeah, Lamont continues to be the quiet orchestrator of the speed of the offense and the defense, which is nice to see. Him going, just blowing. I think it was 10 minutes left to go in the game, but him just blowing right by everybody straight to the rim because he just punished them. And
He's an old head.
it's just nice to have that basketball wisdom.
Mm-hmm. It's the old head. He catch him sleeping downhill, and bam, there he is.
Did you see the story where I guess he was asking if he can play without the brace on? And it's like, that's the psycho energy that I want going into March.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Lamont Butler, it's been such a pleasure to be able to watch him and not just be like, God damn it, I hate watching this guy play against me every single time. Because San Diego State has been a nightmare with that guy. And so it's been so nice that smile's so hard to hate on,
Beautiful smile.
And yeah, he is. That's the thing. This guy, he felt like the most impactful player outside of Amari to me. And, he had a okay line. 8 points, pretty pedestrian. But he felt like he just controls things out there. The way that he keeps a constant threat. Like he has a lot of gravity for a guy that's not necessarily known for being super fast, super big. He just has a lot of He has really good breaks. He moves really well. He's an old head. He's just he toys with people. He's been there, done that.
And he's going to make a decision that's going to get points. Like,
yeah.
So that might be the gravity thing where it's just like, don't let him be the initiator. Make somebody else make the decision here.
Like a Rondo.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that brace, I think it looks cool. Cool as shit. It's very.
It's got to be hell to play with.
Yeah.
Worst.
I think it's beefy.
It's like a lot of people that never played football with pads on. They think they want to go catch a football, and then they put pads on. Like, how the hell you catch a cold?
How do you keep your arms in there?
Yeah, exactly. I bet you. I can't imagine, but you got to keep that thing on, big dog. March is just starting. I thought he got. Oh, by the way, did anyone get scared when you thought he rolled his ankle, maybe, or he kind of came up gimpy on that one play? He had the blood on his leg. I was nervous as hell.
Where'd the blood come from?
I think somebody scratched him or something on his leg. Or a shoe, or somebody stepped on him or something.
I didn't panic because whatever happens at this point. I've accepted my role on the team.
That's true.
Yeah, dumb question by me. You're right.
It is really nice to be here today and not coming off of like a 3-game skid where we didn't have anybody. It's like we went through all of that and now we've kind of gotten stabilized a little bit. Auburn is Auburn.
Yeah, it's the 13th ranked net team in the country. It's 10 quad 1 wins. Like this.
Yeah, exactly.
We said at the Alabama game, it was the Alabama, Auburn, Oklahoma, LSU, and Missouri, and we said we can go 3-2. We'd be thrilled. We went 3-2. Did exactly that, and that's the first time all year we've done exactly as we're supposed to do with an upset thrown in. I guess it's on the road at 17 Missouri. That's most teams' best win, you guys. Like that's damn near one of the best wins in the whole season by anybody. Like period. End of story. And we just casually, here we go, Saturday, early afternoon.
We were saying post Texas that the win at Texas would have been huge for us. Like that would have been up there, at least net wise, of us beating Florida at Rupp. And this Missouri team's a lot better than Texas.
Yeah, I think it was whatever Ben always pulls up, the difficulty of whatever the games, Evan Maya's stuff or whatever on net wise. Yeah, but this is they had only lost 1 game there all year. Missouri had. That's crazy. They've only won 3 games outside of there all year. I like
And
shame
it was
on that,
senior
but-
day, and Kentucky was in town. Like the people were turned up.
Yeah, there was a big blue chance going on, and that's rough.
Always love that.
Rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Go Big Blue chants. Like moments after, hey, we're gonna blow this game on Twitter. Every Big Blue Nation fan ever has never had any faith. Why is there so little faith, guys? Come on, like they've done it over and over and over again. Just this season, I've only been here a season. I've seen it 12 different times. Have some faith.
The shadow of the bad man is still hanging over the program.
But it's not. He's over Arkansas like squarely on that bubble, dog. Like he is just absolutely riding that thing.
Wouldn't it be great if Arkansas made the tournament and lost in the first 4? Like that gives me life.
They won today, so they should definitely be
yeah.
in. They beat Mississippi State. But okay, so let's translate this win. Winning at Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Who dog walked Alabama at Missouri. Like, what is that? Is that an Elite Eight type win? Game that we can expect in the Elite Eight?
Here's the thing: it could be easier. Like this is the whole thing, dude. Is like how many good, like the best teams are in the SEC. You've played the best teams, and you've played everybody outside of Houston, in my opinion. That's worth a damn, that's going to contest. I really think that there's some obviously some. Don't come at me with, oh, this team could do it. No shit. I'm sure there's more teams than that. My point is that's what everyone says. It's even a 2-dog race between Auburn and Duke, and I think that's ludicrous too, because I think there's several that can, but I mean it might even be better than the Elite Eight win. It might be. We might not see teams like this for a little bit until we see these type teams again from our own conference. That's it. I'm really fascinated to see the bloodbath that is the SEC tournament, and then see what it's like, how they perform. I think they're going to run roughshod on over the first 2 rounds of that tournament, dude. It's going to be historic numbers.
I would think that this should raise us a seed line, this win, provided we don't lose our first game in the SEC tournament. I feel like this should make us a 3 seed.
I feel like you're a 3 now, or we're a 3 now, no?
Lenardi, and I'm a Lenardi respecter.
Why?
Lenardi Hive rise up.
That's what I'm saying. Why?
Because he was the first thing that came up when I Googled Bracketology, and that's just convenience where I got to pull it up right now.
And you just entirely defined why we know his name is convenience, and he was the first one there. He is literally like rated near the bottom of every bracketologist. So everyone's scored. Him and Jerry Palmer, the pillow fight of the year every time. So,
but in all of them that I see, they have Michigan State as a 2, Texas Tech as a 2, Tennessee as a 2. I don't feel like any of those teams are better than us. So I'm not going to be too intimidated going into the tournament, because I feel like while everyone knows that the SEC is good this year, I feel like we're still kind of inflating the other conferences for how good they actually are. I've seen Michigan State in person.
The Don watered it. Well, no, shout out Iman Zapala. That's my guy. Michigan State. They're legit. Never mind.
Drastically improved. I've watched them play since then, and it is a completely different level of execution.
But don't you think they play hard like they did? Because we said at the Champions Classic they do play hard. They were playing harder than Kansas was. It felt like they just severely undermanned that game. It seemed right. Yeah. Izzo's damn good, dude. I like that guy.
But also, the Big Ten could just be ass.
Who?
Very possible that the Big Ten is just ass. And
I wonder, do you even see where Danny Sprinkle and Washington finished? I was a little busy this year. I did. They were only
dead last. Last.
Oh, maybe those lights were a little bright, Danny. Really interesting. Well, at least great got a big payday.
I think it's more different cities than Detroit, Michigan, and Seattle, Washington. Why are they the same conference? It's just nothing means anything anymore.
Jared was talking about moving to ACC country the other day, and I was just surprised he wanted to come all the way out to the Bay and hang with me. I thought that was a little strange. That Calford connection's coming in hot.
Just going out from Berkeley to Durham. Those games. So gross, dude.
I'll say, just to end that last one before he gets all. This is wheels are about to fall off. I don't think that. I would if the SEC goes into the NCAA tournament and just bombs like the Big 12 has several times, because that conference is super legit. But if the SEC does that, I'll be shocked, and I'll just forever not have takes on basketball anymore. I legitimately think this is going to be fascinating to see how many SEC teams you get in the Sweet 16. And I think it'll be a record number of them, just however many don't eliminate themselves by playing each other.
If it does happen, I'm going to say it's because they had such a hard conference schedule.
Yeah, well, that's what. Okay, you would. That would make sense for you to say that. I don't
And
know
like
why I almost started arguing with you. It happened again.
I'm
Masturbator.
looking at this Lenardi bracket now, and keep in mind, I'm a Lenardi respecter. It looks like he's trying to force storylines into the tournament
Utah
because
State and BYU. Yeah.
he would have St. John's and Louisville playing in the second round.
St. John's would beat Louisville like a drum. Okay,
That would
like
be amazing, though.
that would be. Give me that, please.
Give me St. John's, Louisville, Duke, North Carolina as like the 11 seed or whatever. All in
only
the
two
same,
teams that play.
all in the same bracket as us.
Lenardi has Georgia in the tournament, and I'll point out there was some guy who was hating on us a few months ago for saying maybe Georgia's not that bad. And look at me now.
He told me that they're the worst team he's ever seen, and I better hope that they win all the rest of their games, or he's going to unsubscribe. And that he did
He already
unsubscribe that
unsubscribed,
day.
yeah.
But he commented 4 times, like throughout the video that day. That was at least he did watch it, so I
Big
couldn't
Mac.
hate. But he informed. He wasn't just going off the handle without reading the article. He read it. He watched it. You know, he had an opinion. I respect that. You don't like it, at least he watched it. But yeah, he did unsubscribe. That was pretty. Come back, big dog. I know you're watching from the shadows.
Lenardi has Kentucky in the West right now, playing High Point in the first round. He also has Utah State in the West, and that's the San Francisco region. Braden, your favorite spot? You always say San Francisco, my favorite city in the world.
It's so funny because I've never once said that. Number 2, that would be incredible because it's literally an hour and a half away. So thanks for that. Manifest something that's good for me for once, not like my players transferring or like coach
You
leaving.
always say when I'm in San Francisco,
Bro, no,
it
I
just
never.
feels right.
I have not been to San Francisco since you and I have been aware of each other's existence on this earth. So I have never said that. But I love the spirit though, and it is a good city. Well,
You're like, I have a lot of friends in San Francisco. Well,
yeah,
that's what you're saying. I don't know why you always do that.
it's weird. It's like a tick. I can't help it.
I think that we would have a pretty good showing in San Francisco, fan-wise.
I know. You told me that we would outdo Gonzaga 3-1 in Seattle. I know you think that we'll have a lot of the whole place will be Kentucky fans.
We did.
It did not. You did not. It was not.
It wasn't as good as Caleb thought, but it wasn't as bad as we thought.
It was still way pro Gonzaga. It was not in any way. Yeah, it's not. I'm not even arguing for something like that. I predicted something like miraculous. It was just what was going to happen. Like it. Okay, you know what? I know what you're doing. Stop. Done.
What I'm looking at right now, we would have the most fans there in San Francisco because Gonzaga is not a 1 this year, and they would have Florida as the 1 in San Francisco.
Oh, for sure. I was referring to earlier in the year when we actually played Gonzaga, and not the upcoming theoretical game, but the one we actually had. Where no, in fact, it was not pro Gonzaga or pro Kentucky.
Here's the thing, though. Most of the fans that were there as Gonzaga fans were actually Kentucky haters.
Dude, I swear, I'm going to talk about this now because this is the weirdest thing to me. What's y'all's problem with Gonzaga? What the hell is that?
I don't have a problem.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying Big Blue Nation because everybody is like, "Oh my god, I'm so sick of Gonzaga." Oh, you're sick of consistent greatness. I'm sorry, you couldn't make 9 straight Sweet 16s. Cry about it, Jesus.
Oh, no,
they're not. How are they? No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to. Like, I swear I've had this conversation 20 different times. With Jared, I am talking to you because you said the same shit. You felt like they were getting pushed for. How is anyone pushing them when they're making the Sweet 16 a record 9 times in a row, probably 10 this year, to have the record by themselves?
That Gonzaga is a psyop by the liberal left-wing media.
Oh, please, God. It is. You know what? This is not. I thought we were going to have a real conversation. You guys would admit to being like biased for no good reason. But, we'll play this game instead.
It's blue blood privilege, man. We just don't like welcoming new people into the club. We reluctantly accepted UConn a year ago.
Okay. So when was the last? How many Sweet 16s in the last 9 years has Kentucky had?
I wish I knew. All you're doing is setting me up for people to call me an idiot in the comments. So
I'm sorry. You know what? My bad. Cut this out. I'm saying it's not 9, is it? I know for damn sure it's not 9. That's all I'm saying. So I don't feel like it's, just some industry plant that was put here and you're like, where did this person come from? No, Gonzaga's been one of the best, if not the most consistent program in the country.
That was the easiest part of the bracket.
So true. He is right. There's no denying that.
There's no denying what?
That the West is always the easiest bracket.
Yeah, because it's definitely like the same team. You know what? You guys are just. So our first regular season of the Catechin, wrapping up today. This is big time, and I hate you both because I can't have a real conversation at all. I wish Ben was here. The line between sane and others is like drastically going in one direction here. We need to call Ben.
Yeah, I do wish Ben was here because he would be able to tell us all the number stuff.
Yeah, helping a friend move while Alabama and Auburn play. Yeah, all
Yeah,
right, buddy.
helping a friend.
Okay. Yeah, buddy. All right. You don't think I see through that. All right, buddy. We'll see you next time, Ben.
I'd move my nuts on your chin.
Holy smokes. Cashews.
All right, fellas. This was a fun one. You know, a big win, fun episode. It's March, baby.
You know, SEC standing. Find out next time. See how that goes.
Yeah.
Look.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining the Catechin. We will be back for hopefully multiple days in a row. Wednesday,
It will.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Catechin coming to you after every single game after the bracket.
Common.
Herman. Yeah. Are we gonna live stream? We should live stream. We should probably just do that instead.
If we win the SEC tournament, we got a live stream. We're doing drunk live stream for an
If we win the SEC tournament, I'll probably find a way to go to the games, bro. To win the SEC tournament in this SEC, dog, I'm getting SEC champs tatted on me somewhere. Like, you're kidding if you don't think that's the case. We all are. And Ben too. You can't back out. You weren't here.
Winning the SEC this year might be the toughest tournament of the year.
That's what I'm saying. I have no idea. Like, I can't wait to get it over with so we can get to the NCAA tournament and chill for a minute. Nope, not chilling. We're gonna eat my words. That'll be played over and over again when we lose to another St. Peter's or some bullshit like that.
Well, we're in it on a bummer. We're in it on St. Peter's. Thank you for joining the Catechin. For Braden, for Caleb, I'm Jared. Ben, we miss you forever in our hearts. Go Cats.
You didn't say some stuff about like that when I was gone. All right, go Cats.